are continuing our theme on be, to be. We started last week, and last week we talked about how what it means to be fully in our lives, what it means to be fully expressing our authentic self. And then again, we looked at, well, there's so many levels to us. We are multidimensional beings. What level are we talking about? Are we talking about the human physical level, the mental level, the world in our subconscious, and the core beliefs and our shadow selves? Are we talking about the level of the etheric level? They have this etheric level where maybe we have angel guides or, our relatives, ancient wisdom voices. And then we have the highest divine vibration. And that has levels as well. And so we talked about that this highest divine vibration is this universal, unformed, unexpressed field of all possibilities, divine essence that gives rise to everything in the universe, that gives rise to us. That is who we are at our core. Right? That's our true eternal self that was never born and can never die. That is who we truly are. And we become more conscious of that, and we're able to align ourselves with that with spiritual practice. And one of the most effective ways I know to be in that consciousness and to experience being fully in the moment is with gratitude. And particularly when we practice gratitude of seeing, we're grateful for something, a beautiful rose. We're grateful for an experience. We're grateful for a person. To be able to see the divine source that gives rise to that, the eternal, changeless reality, because that changes, right? It's beautiful blossom now, but that's going to change. Just like our bodies, just like who we are, just like our circumstances and everything in life. It is changeless here in this physical dimension. So we can be grateful for the moment of this experience, the moment of that rose, the moment of our connection with another being, and also on a deeper level, that field of all possibilities, the field of infinite love, the universal transcendent consciousness, right? If we see that that is behind everything, in that moment, we are really then in that field. We're anchoring ourselves in that field of all possibilities. And we talked last week about how that's the place we want to be in meditation and affirmative prayer, because that's a very creative space. And so we anchored that awareness with an activity last week, which was our magic gratitude jar. And this was a gift from Ravana. She came and she gave us this beautiful magic jar, and I had you all fill out a little slip of paper, write a gratitude on it for something that's in your experience now or something that has yet to manifest. You put it on the slip of paper, you folded it, and you came up here, and it's all together brewing in this wonderful cosmic brew of gratitude, which has energy, radiates out. And we began that last week, and we're continuing that practice for the next 20 weeks until Thanksgiving. And it's out in the foyer with a little slip of paper inviting you to anytime you come in and you want to connect with that energy of gratitude, write it down, put it in the jar. We'll try to compress it down so we can get them all in there. And then we're going to do a celebration over it on Thanksgiving. All right, so now I want to get to today. It's a little different thing that we're doing because, as I mentioned last week, we have 2 book studies that have been going on here at UCP. On Monday afternoon, Maria, and I wish she was here today, but she's definitely doing other things. Maybe she's visiting us online. Hello. She's been leading the Joe Dispenza study group on Monday afternoon. And then Sunday pre-service, we have been studying the Tao with David Glass has been facilitating the study of the Tao. And when I'm thinking it, I go, well, there's two different ways of looking at this issue of being, but I think there's places where there's similarities, where they overlap. And I'd like to know what they are, because I'm not in either of the groups. I'm familiar with both of those studies, but I haven't been in the groups. So I wanted to invite you all today, if you've been in one of these study groups and you have something that you've learned, an aha, a big takeaway, I want you to come up, speak right into the mic, right? And this is a gooseneck mic, so the short ones, you can go like that. Tall ones up like this, right? And speak directly here. Put your mouth right there. And let's see, 2 rules about this. Because we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to share, right? So let's keep it brief. Let's aim for like 3 minutes, maybe, or less. The second one, no politics. We're going to keep politics out of this today. All right, those are the only 2 rules. Otherwise, really think about what it is that really moved me, really touched me, what I really learned about that. And please come up and share. Who would like to go first? Oh, Joy. Yes, come on up. Thank you. All right. Let's give a hand to Joy, being our first volunteer. All right.
I invite the other people in the groups to come up too, because this will not be a summary of everything we all learned.
Nice and close.
Okay.
Yeah, where?
All right. So, a Sunday morning would start out being here with the Tao. Well, I had no idea what the Tao was. It was something that I thought would take so much study and just so much intellect, and I wasn't sure whether I really wanted to do that or not. However, I got up in the morning and it was like, go to the Tao. So, okay, I'm going to the Tao. And then Victoria had mentioned a little bit of the Tao in one of her talks, and I thought, oh, Victoria does the Tao. Oh, she's aware. Well, maybe I better look into it. So I was very surprised. David was our facilitator, and he was so prepared. He had books that we could buy from him for $5, books that were the Tao with an interpretation by Wayne Dyer, which a modern interpretation and how to change your life. And that was so nice to have, because, and then he would come in with all of these other books, with all of these other interpretations, because the Tao was Chinese, and it was only 5,000 characters. And so there'd be many interpretations of it. So what is useful to us today? Well, little sidebar. So my word this year to study that I put on my stone was flow. Oh my gosh, I was so surprised. Most of the Tao has to do with flow. It has to do with water. It has to do, Theodore's going to talk about, I hope you're going to talk about the paradigm of the Tao. Well, anyway, there's a paradigm. I haven't quite got into all of that yet, but I was so taken. I mean, if you just look at what water does, water creeps in between cracks. It creates grottos. It creates safe places out of rock, out of where there's nothing. And I thought that was such a message for me about when I feel like I'm stuck spiritually, or when I'm working on abundance, or when I'm working on a place where what's my use here, what's my job here. It was just, wow. So I found that I could get up in the morning and hear 42, and then I go to 42, and I could read that and read what Wayne Dyer had said about it, and it was kind of cool. Or the title. I could go in the introduction and look at the title. Yeah, that's a good one for today. And it's not long. It's like 2 or 3 pages. It's something I can do, in a short period of time as part of my study. And then Dave said, oh, the way he does it, he doesn't make a big deal of it. He listens to it in the car while he's driving. And I thought, oh, that would be a good way to drive slow and, get the message. So I've really appreciated that study. And then I went to so that was my Sunday before church service, before remembering all of the different ways I'm powerful. And then I would go into Monday to Dispenza's study of the placebo, and that blew me away. It just absolutely blew me away because, first off, he starts out by all of the ways, okay, what is a placebo would be, so the medicine would be 35% effective. The placebo would be 31%, 28% effective. So how could this placebo be so effective when we're taking this medication that's only, a certain percent greater? So he goes through these studies, which I appreciated because I have a medical background. And it brought up all of the anatomy, all of the physiology that I had learned so many years ago. And one thing he said was that in the 1950s, we discovered DNA. And we decided that DNA had to do with genes, and genes predetermined what we were going to be like, whether we would have a heart attack, whether we would have high blood pressure, whether we would have high cholesterol, whether we would have a disease. And it turns out, gosh, there's more than one gene in every single cell. And he talked about how our emotions affect the chemicals to affect what ones were activated. And that's how we heal. That's how we spiritually heal. And so that really blew me away. And we did our last meditation that Maria sent us was on the space in between the molecules. So I loved chemistry. I have a minor in chemistry, and I never needed a minor in chemistry. And the electrons, they go around the nucleus, electrons go around, there's spaces in between. Well, what's in those spaces? And so the meditation was all about the spirit in between those spaces. And I found it, I can't remember right now, but I related that to what you said today. And I relate it to all of our meditations on love and how we change the world. That was more than 3 minutes. Sorry.
No, that was great. What a good distillation of both of those. Thank you, Joy. Theo, you want to come up?
Well, thank you, Joy. You kind of got me up here. I didn't know. Anyway, I have these Chinese letters tattooed on my arm, and this is from the Tao. And it says, and the meaning it says, I do nothing. And anyway, I really enjoyed the class with, I'm not sure what his name was, in the Tao. He is such a joyful person. And it was really a joy being in the room with him. I had read the Joe Dispenza book, so I only went to one class. And I wasn't really impressed by the meditation. I didn't really have very much to say. I enjoyed both, going to both book studies. And I came up because she kind of, I was sitting there, she said, you better come up. And
That's fine. All right. He was very much in the moment.
I felt inspired in that moment, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe somebody else would help to clarify. Thank you. Walter, were you in one of the groups as well? Okay, come on up.
when, what was her name? The lady?
Maria?
Maria.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was
She's
in
our
the very-
board president, by the way.
I'm not the
There you go.
look, I'm not Joe Biden. Thank you. Okay. Now, I look at the Tao, and I look at Joe Dispenza. I've read both books. I'm a spiritualist. We believe in ghosts and whatnot, just like you guys do. But it happened. I was sitting right over there. Tables were like this. Chairs were sitting, and she was talking. And suddenly we noticed this light came through on the floor and up the ceiling. It was jiggling like this. Was it about 48 hours she had that accident?
Oh.
That's what happens. And she said, I saw this too. And I said, yeah, I saw it too. I've seen these things many times before. This is not the first time. This is what we're here to learn, to understand, to break the atmosphere or whatnot, whatever. But I wanted to bring that out. And I read the Tao all the time. Incredible book. Mm-hmm. And I just like, as you said, water. Water flows all the time. So you just have to go where they want you to go. That's it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, thank you. All right. Somebody like to share an aha moment from one of these groups, if you've been in one of the groups? Sure. Mary Angela, come on up. And you can move it down, yeah.
I've been listening to Joe Dispenza on YouTube for years, just because he cuts through a lot of the overthinking to get where we need to go. And Maria couldn't be a better person. There couldn't be a better person than Maria to bring it to our center, because she radiates so much love through all that she does for so many people all the time. So she's kind of our superwoman, right? And keeps a smile on her face, thick and thin, and says it like it needs to be said sometimes. And with everything going on in the world, I made a vow to myself, starting, I think, yesterday evening, to stop checking in on what someone else says is happening in the world. Because I've decided that the truth is, and the Joe Dispenza work has really helped with this, but I am a co-creator of everything that happens next. Everything. I take responsibility for all of it. I'm a co-creator of it. Something in me agreed with everything that's going to happen next. Because I'm part of God, right? We're all a little grain of sand on the whole beach of God, right? So that's pretty powerful. So the fear's gone, the doubt's gone. It's all going to turn out okay. For who? Well, that time will tell. But I'm a co-creator. How about you?
We're all doing it together, yeah. Yeah, great. All right, who else would like to share something that they learned from either Joe Dispenza or at the arena? Come on up. She's got the long walk down there from the back.
Well, I knew about Dispenza many years ago, and I met him, and but I didn't know nothing then about him. So about 15 years later, here, Maria brings his book, and I came to study. And this time it hit me that he explains actually how do we co-create reality through change of your personality. It totally makes sense this time, at this where I am in life. There's no need more to know. If you just follow him, it all makes sense. So we're doing beautiful meditations. It feels great. I'll get to the really zone of total relaxation until we're meditating on the brain. After the brain, we're going to the next part, which is the heart. So we're going to the heart meditation, and there's a brain and heart coherence. we cannot co-create just with the brain. We have to connect the brain with the heart to become whole. The general agenda, you have to be whole. Everything comes from wholeness. So when I get the heart, you're supposed to feel love. They said you have to recollect the feel of love. That's where everything comes from. And I'm very excited about this meditation. It's great. I've found, everything I need to know. It's amazing, Then we do heart meditation, and it says you feel love, and I feel nothing. I'm trying to recollect. I know I love my dog, I love my cat, at least I know that. I'm looking at them, I feel nothing. I was like, what's happening? I was like, something, it gave me, something is wrong. It's not possible that I don't know the love. It's not possible I never felt the love. I know I'm loving, I can't feel the love. Next thing, we go home after meditation. I'm doing this, again, heart meditation at home. I start getting anxiety for days. I start choking on anxiety. And I'm thinking I'm getting a heart attack. I'm measuring my blood pressure. I said, no, blood pressure is fine. I don't get a heart attack. I'm grateful for my friends that they stick up with me still because it brings up everything. Irritates everything. You just choke on anxiety. And okay, second day, third day, fourth day, I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do with myself. I've never been for days to anxiety. Then I'm watching a movie that triggers something in me very deep. And I start sobbing uncontrollably because I feel love. Totally foreign. Nothing to do with friends, people that I love. I'm sobbing. Then I'm analyzing later from one extreme to another extreme what's happening. I'm starting to connect the dots together. I'm texting Maria. And then on the way to chiropractor driving, when I'm still breathing heavy, it's getting into me slowly, idea that maybe this heart that was so guarded for so long, and it's kind of frozen for so long, actually let go and open up, because meditation said, like a blooming flower, open your heart, start blooming. And I saw flowers blooming, open up, open up. And then maybe that's what happened. Maybe I allow my heart to feel. Maybe I allow my heart to open. Maybe. And I'm texting Maria. I'm texting an other friend. She said, yeah, it totally makes sense. I said, okay. And then once I start analyzing this, okay, it's probably what it is. And anxiety went away. Once I understood what's happening, I stopped having anxiety. And then what came, I said, where it's not only what happened in my life like 9 months ago. It took me to understand it went all the way down to my childhood. Mm-hmm. When you were very little, it went that far away. And I'm thinking, how many of us walking with our hearts guarded and protected? Mm. And we think that we feel. We think when we have good moments that we're okay. But when we really go in, just body showed it that it's totally, it's not. So I have to be gentle with myself, and I said, okay, this time is so difficult, I'm gonna let go of everything. I'm not gonna meditate for a moment. I'm not gonna commit to anything. I just be and wait it out a little bit, give myself a little bit of gentle care. And no more anxiety, thank God. But I wish I was warned. That's the only thing. I would be more prepared and not walk in this crazy 5 days of no man's land, and think I'm dying. So my purpose was to, sometimes when we expect, rainbows and fireworks, that it's so beautiful, it actually could be the other way. And I'm really hoping that somewhere there is a road to wholeness anyway.
You're on it, girl. Thank you. Yeah. Wow, that was beautiful. Sometimes it is a process, isn't it? It's a process of going into those places that are uncomfortable and clearing it out and dealing with whatever in order. I love what you said about the heart being guarded, that, you know, as a source of anxiety. That's an interesting concept. Our heart is guarded. How can I open and be more loving? That is beautiful. All right. Well, thank you all. If one more person is just dying to get up there and share, yeah, come on up really briefly, and then we'll bring this to a close. Catherine.
So, Irina, you helped me remember something about the Joe Dispenza class. My aha moment, one of them today, is that I didn't do the Tao, and I should have. I'm not a should on myself, but I wish I had, and now I want to. But on the Joe Dispenza work, what he really tells us is that we live in the past so much, and we live in the future based on the predictability of the past. And we don't live in the now. And so in the progression of meditations, he's taken us to the next step, which is to be into the, what he calls the darkness. We're all going, no, what do you mean? It's the lightness, right? No, he says the darkness. It's the unknown. It's the now. It's the infinite possibilities of the now, where we leave behind the past and leave behind the predictable future, and we create. As Mary Angela said, we become the creators, and we have to touch into that presence of the now to really experience the infiniteness of it and the great, to be greater than ourselves. And so that's what I was remembering when you talked, was just going into the no one, nowhere, no time, no space, just the infinite of possibility. So I think that's where we're all headed. In that class, anyway, I'm excited.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you shared. All right. Thank you for. I do have. I just wanted to show you. This is the Wayne Dyer book on the Tao. Change your thoughts, change your life. Living the wisdom of the Tao. If anybody's interested in doing that, I don't know. Are you guys studying the placebo effect? Is that what you're, or, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the book, yeah. But you're also watching videos, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. There's so much wisdom in this room. You guys are so smart and so deep, and I know so many of you have done spiritual practice for so long, and, you know, it's really good to get different perspectives and, you know, see what really speaks to us. So thank you so much. Applause for you. All right.
Hi. If this video has inspired you, opened your heart, expanded your consciousness, filled you with hope, empowered you in some way, we encourage you to support what we offer here at Unity Center of Peace by making your donation now. And thank you.